just going to go over a couple of things I learned about the Becker 11, just some carrying options. I put the green paracord through the little lashing holes. Basically what I do is slide my belt underneath those so I can carry it on the small of my back for a cross draw. I find that works pretty well in between the two belt loops in the back of your pants. If I'm going to wear it around my neck, out in the bush sometimes I'm finding that I sling it around my neck just for convenience sake, because I know it's right there. Also putting it away, I notice a lot of people shoving it up into their face. Turning this sheath sideways, make sure it's going to shove the knife right up through your soft palate. But I usually don't carry it around my neck. That's just sort of if I'm doing a lot of work quickly. What I usually do while I'm walking around in the bush, I'll carry it around in my pocket. I find that works pretty well. So what I do is with the neck cord, just lash it through either my belt or my belt loop so that it doesn't fall out, so that if anything ever snags, it'll just dangle there. And I'm not too worried about the knife falling out. It's pretty secure in that sheath. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's got a pretty good retention and lock. I don't know if you can hear that. So I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the Becker Necker. Definitely a pretty good little knife. It's going to suffice more than what I needed to. I had brought up my other knife as well. I used it a little bit, but as far as making feather sticks, I've got to regrind down the edge, and I also have to harden it properly in order. Just using this one for right now. Again, I don't wrap the handle in anything. My hands, I don't know if you can see it, I'll show you tomorrow morning, just covered in spruce sap, and so did the knife, and it was hard to get off. I had to melt it off in the fire in hot water to get that off. So the less on a knife for me, the better. I don't want to get it, it's going to get all gummed up and dirty and stuff anyhow, so the simpler the better for sure. I didn't get any videos yet of splitting wood or chopping off branches, I don't think yet, so I'll have to try and do that tomorrow morning, just to make a quick video of what it actually does to the trees and stuff. I'm definitely quite surprised how tough a knife this is. Definitely tougher than a lot of the knives I've owned before, for sure. I'm also impressed with the black finish. Obviously the knife just looks black there, but it hasn't even started wearing off the blade yet, so it may last a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Yeah, I think for most of my camp tasks, most of the things that I need, either survival or hunting, this knife will do pretty much everything I need it to. As you can see, most of the wood that I gather here for most of the seasons is just dry, standing dead or dead wood that I've scrounged up. I can break with my hands or over a rock. The worst came to worst, I cut a couple of pieces with the wire saw, but haven't had to use it that much. So most of the knife will be for carving, again, feather sticks, food prep, but mainly I want it for hunting. It's got just that beautiful drop point on it. Put your finger on the tip, get it in, grab it on the top for flashing or skinning. Just a very well designed knife. Quite impressed with it. One thing I was going to mention, I keep forgetting about stuff, so I'm just going to edit this all together, was the edge. It's still really sharp after I've beaten it. The blade's quite gummed up. I couldn't get the fire steel to work because on the tip that I had right here along that edge, I had scraped off the powder coating. Sort of see it there. There you go, it's reflecting now. it had been covered in spruce sap, so it was really hard to get that fire steel going. To create any spark, I had to scrape it off with the the knife sharpener in order to get it to work. But it's not razor sharp as it was earlier, but I mean, I've cut up you know, 2 trees worth of firewood and built a shelter with it. So I think all in all, after I sharpened it just 2 strokes on either side with that small little sharpening steel, and it was back to hair popping sharp. Definitely impressed with the edge. Pretty good in my book.